Okay, so this is a kind of continuation of the previous video, which was the unboxing of the hard drive. It's a Western Digital MyBook Essential 1TB external USB 2.0 hard drive. So the last video I did the unboxing, I said I'd do another one just like tell you how everything went and my initial thoughts on it. It's not so much a review because I've only been using it a few minutes, but I can give you, I can sort of tell you what I think about it. I've got the hard drive, that's what I keep looking at, down on the shelf next to my Freecom one, so I can show you it using this iToy. I'll just use cam twist to switch to it. There are the two hard drives on the shelf down the side of my desk. The one standing up is the new one, the one lying down, this one, is the Freecom hard drive. So they're both black. The Western Digital MyBook, the new one, has like a glossy effect all the way around. The Freecom one has the same kind of glossy effect on the front. They both got blue lights. This one flashes when the disc is being used. It's currently backing up from this hard drive onto this one. You probably can't see it flashing too well. Might be able to increase the frame rate. That might be a bit better. And this one, when the disc has been accessed, it sort of has that light going up and down, that kind of effect. Which, if you've got the hard drive in the dark, or if it's sitting in front of you, or whatever, it might be sort of a more relaxed approach to telling you it's being accessed. The blinking light on the Freecom one could possibly irritate you, and I don't know. But I prefer the way this does it, with the light going up and down. I quite like that. The light, although it looks quite bright on the camera, it isn't. It's not going to light up your room or anything when you got the lights off. It's not going to irritate you in any way. It's quite a dim light. So I'll show you the back of it. If I could take the iToy around here, you should be able to see that now. Sorry if it's a bit dark or the camera's not in the right place. You can see all the vents on the back. I'm really not sure whether this has a fan or not. It's definitely louder than my Freecom hard drive. So if noise is an issue, I definitely recommend the Freecom drive because it's really quiet. It's really good. The MyBook is noisy, but it's not too bad now. It's on this shelf down here. You can hear it, but it's not too loud. It's not going to get. It's not going to get on my nerves. It's not going to affect anything else. You can see the light through the. You can sort of see all the insides through the back. You probably can't on here because it's too dark, but you can see the light in there. I'm not sure about the speed of the hard drive. It seems fast enough. All I'm going to use it for is backing up, so it really doesn't matter how fast it is to me, because as long as it backs up and it works, then that's fine. It's never going to be backing up much at once apart from this initial one, because it's currently got 1.5 million items to back up, which seems a bit of a lot. And by the way, it's connected to a USB hub there, which then goes around to my Mac. So if you just give me a minute, I'll switch back to this camera. I'll put that down now. So that's the hard drive. I actually prefer the way the Freecom one looks visually. I think the new one, it sort of looks chunky, not as professional as the Freecom drive does. I prefer the less rounded edges, but it does look good. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not saying it looks bad. I just prefer the Freecom drive. But the Freecom, the 1 TB version of the that's a Freecom Classic hard drive. That's 500 gigabytes. The 1 TB one is more expensive than the Western Digital drive. So that's the reason I got this one. So I'm pleased with the hard drive overall. With getting it working actually on the operating system on OS 10, I didn't have to do anything. I just clicked mount again. If you watched the whole video, the last one you might have seen, I clicked mount, I got an error. I tried to format it, I got an error. I clicked mount again, it just worked just after I clicked stop recording for the video. Since then I've reformatted it so it can be used with Time Machine, because it was formatted as the FAT32 or whatever the Windows format's called. I know that the Windows format is NTFS, yes, NT file system, which doesn't work on OS 10, but that's formatted in the FAT format, so it works on both. I don't know if I'm supposed to pronounce it FAT, but I do. So it did work. I just had some initial errors with it. Not sure why. Like I said, I formatted it. It did have software on it. It had the Google software, which I mentioned from the box, and the toolbar, Google Desktop, and Picasso, which is I think the image editing program from Google. It's all free to download, I think. Anyway, it's pretty well. I know the Google Desktop and Google Toolbar are. I'm just assuming that Picasso is too. It also had a trial of backup software on the hard drive. It told me that you needed to install that. Obviously I didn't believe that, so I installed it anyway to see what it was. It didn't explain it. It turned out to be a trial of backup software. So I quit it. I thought, well, I'll just leave it. It turns out it runs a background processes and services all the time, even when you're not logged on, it said. So I uninstalled it straight away. That was kind of annoying. That it sort of forces you to install it. It doesn't tell you what it is, why you need it. It just says you install it, as though it's going to set up the hard drive or something, and then it's a trial and it's useless. I don't see why you would need it on a Mac though, because you have Time Machine, which probably will do a better job than the Western Digital Backups program. So that's it. That's my whole. That's everything that's happened with the hard drive so far. It's connected by USB 2.0 to USB only. If you want a really fast hard drive, then I recommend FireWire rather than USB if speed isn't a big issue. But for most users, most people, USB would be fine. Both of my hard drives are USB. It's much cheaper to get a USB only hard drive than a FireWire excuse me, FireWire one. So that's all I can say about it. Already it's quite warm, but heat shouldn't be a problem here. It's well ventilated. The only problem I have with it is the noise, really, and the lack of the on-off switch. But it says on the box it's energy efficient, and it goes off with your computer, so you don't have to turn it off and turn it on when you turn your computer off and on. But I leave my computer on all the time, so again that doesn't really affect me. I'd rather just have a switch on it. But for most people, the way it works would be better, but I still think a switch would be nice. So, my recommendation here, based on the 2 hard drives I've got, if you want a good hard drive that's quiet, fast and works, get the Freecom one if you can afford it. It's really good. I've had it for nearly a year probably. If you want a hard drive that's cheaper, which seems to work okay, then go for the Western Digital. If you want it to stand up to save space, then my book Essential probably is the best choice. So I never used, well, apart from the broken one, any other external hard drives, but the other one was a hard drive in an enclosure, so doesn't really count as much as a hard drive that you buy and that's plug and play and just works. But you might have had some experience with another hard drive, external hard drive, maybe an internal hard drive. If you'd like to write some tips or review on that, whatever, you can send me them in an email, and I could possibly read them out in a video, and sort of share them with the community. My email address is info@jackie.com. You can also find these live videos, the live chat, my blog, and lots more at jackie.com. Thanks for watching.